The idea of sleeping between two trees up above the ground where a bear can swat you, I don't know. Well, I became a hammocker last night. I tried this before, years ago, and I thought I'd give it another try. And to me, hammocking is like your first kiss. It's enjoyable, but you're full of anxiety. And once it's all said and done, yeah, it's not too bad. And you want to do it again. This is the Exped Scout Combi, and I like it. It's good price too, but it comes with a whole bunch of neat gadgets. The strapping system, I think, is top notch. I don't know anything about hammocks, by the way, so I'm not an expert at all. This is a new thing to me. But I love the strapping system because you can hook along these little loops and stretch it out as far as you want or as close as you want. It's just a really neat system. You kind of have to give it a try to figure out what I'm talking about. But it also comes with a bug screen, and you really need that, especially last night. Bugs were everywhere around me. That was a little uncomfortable because I'm thinking if I was in a tent, I'd feel more confined and protected. Not out here. At the same time, though, that's why I liked sleeping in the hammock. You actually are out more in the elements. And yeah, if a bear came into camp, I'd see it because it would walk right by me. There's a lot of places I go on a solo trip where there's not a lot of campsites. There's not a lot of people go there. So the freedom of actually just going up a river or in a couple of lakes and just going to shore somewhere and putting your tent between two trees and sleep between it, the hammocking makes sense to me. This thing weighs 2.5 pounds, so throw that in your pack, and on a great solo trip, you get no weight at all. The other thing is, too, is make darn sure you have something underneath. The one thing I remember years ago trying hammocking, I didn't realize how cold it was in a hammock, and I tried it in early spring. It was a disaster. You're cold underneath, so there's a couple things. Thermarest, I actually got a nice big thermarest underneath me, one of those blow-up ones. I also, if I didn't have it on this trip because it's not too cold, but an underquilt, yeah, a good sleeping bag. So make sure something's underneath you. Make sure you got a good tarp and a good rope system. I actually put this little pole here so I can just sit in there and have my breakfast. I think why people like it and what I felt this morning is I woke up with the sun, I woke up with the birds. You're not in a tent and in a closed area, you're actually sleeping out in the woods more so. It's more of a feeling of actually being in the woods. And I get that, it was nice. Huge disadvantage I think is, unless I'm doing it wrong, but you have to sleep on your back. You can't roll over and cuddle, on your side and things like that. And maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I'm a sleeper that basically I wake up every half hour, an hour and move my position while I'm sleeping. That's just what I'm doing, maybe because I'm 50, I don't know. But basically, last night I felt that, gosh, I can only sleep flat. Mind you, I gotta say, it was one of my best sleeps I've ever had. I would either tent it, hammock it, don't really matter. I'd sleep in the canoe for heaven's sakes if I had to do that to be out here. Yeah, all right, so would I try hammocking again? Well, of course, because after my first kiss, I kissed again. And the more I kissed, the more I liked it. So maybe the more I use a hammock, the more I'll like a hammock. You can tell it's a solo trip, talking about kissing and sleeping in a hammock. But I'm making no sense. It's good to get out though.
There's a place that calls to me, where the wind and water speak, and keep it wild and leave it free for those who walk